And we have the one from my Swedish brother. When you practice secret picks, like maybe the first time you pull out cannon or something like that, how do pros hide it from the other players? Secret Smurf accounts? Same with hidden comms. Do you write some kind of don't tell the others agreements? Well, you don't really scrim teams that you're about to play, so hiding comms isn't really a problem. And if you want to practice secret picks, you usually do it on Smurfs. Kind of how I rather not do a queue with Huli on my main, because then people would see what we play together. Yeah, I agree. Kid carries you. I don't really thrive that much in the early game, so I should more often than not lean towards late game ADCs, which is why you have seen so much, Tristana Sivir from me, or Saya, or Kai'Sa, especially last year when it was more meta as well. Just let me pick first here. Let me figure out what is good. I think Vayne is pretty good here. Everything is bad, but Vayne is at least gonna kill stuff. So there's that. But basically what happened was that in 2016 I realized that I had to change because of how easy I had it in 2014 and 2015, where I could just lean on Yellow Star the whole time and have him, baby me the entire game. So in 2017 I tried to experiment with a lot of stuff, and then in 2018 I kind of realized what was my best stuff, or like my strength as a player. So that's when you started seeing Sivir, Tristana, Kai'Sa, Saya, as I said, and ever since that point I've realized that this is the way I'll get the most out of myself. But at the same time, the meta is like everything but late game right now, so it's hard to, I feel like it's just really hard to ignore the meta, if that makes sense. Last year it was kind of meta to play late game, so it didn't really hurt my team too much when I was playing one of those 4 champions or one champion with that style. But this year it's been much more early game focused, so it's hard to not handicap my team by locking in one of those. So I have once again kind of entered that transition phase where I need to figure out what I can do to contribute in the early game, and Lucian has obviously been my most played, but at the same time I'm not that happy with my results with him, so I'm still trying to find something else or some other champions that I can slot in nicely. With $3, who's the support player in the world? Who's the best support player in the world in your opinion? I have no idea. But at Worlds, who's actually the best at Worlds? Was it actually Healy? Because Baolan wasn't super smurfing throughout the entire tournament, but I guess Healy wasn't either. But they were probably the supports with the highest highs, so maybe one of them. Otherwise, at least in terms of scrims, I thought Ming was always like the best support, but I know that doesn't account for much. Him and Uzi just do things that no one else does, so. Even though people think it's mostly Uzi, Ming is quite crazy on his own. But I don't know right now. I don't really follow the LPL too much, so I don't feel like I could give you a legitimate answer, unfortunately. And we have $5 from Zavi. Hi Rekkles, if 2015 Fnatic with Huni, Raynor, Febi, and Yellowstar played versus 2018 Fnatic with People / Soas, Proxy, Caps, you and Hilly, who do you think would win? I'd probably say last year's roster, But not because the 2015 one was worse, it's just over the years everyone gets better, right? So whatever was considered good back in 2015 was not considered good in 2018. So if you compare like our strength at that time versus our strength last year, then last year was better. But if you consider our strength in comparison to other teams in 2015 versus our strength in comparison to other teams in 2018, then I feel like 2015's roster was better, or like the time in 2015 was better. Like we should have done more at that Worlds than we did at last year's Worlds, if that makes sense. Even though the results suggest otherwise.